Good day to you. Hello. 'Tis I again, speaking ye olde English. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I do most things. I just kind of go with the flow. Is there something in my... That's a bit unpleasant. Got with spots. Beard looks nice though. Did it yesterday. What's happening? Anybody good? Anybody bad? Anybody indifferent? I'm here for you. I hope you're well. I just need... I'm a fidgeter, you know. I just saw something to fidget with, so I've got, yeah, just play with that. Better play with that rather than something that'll get me kicked off YouTube. That's on my OnlyFans. Yeah, yeah, not a lot's happening really. I know this is on the Sunday I'm recording this, but the restrictions, as far as we know, should be lifting a little bit more tomorrow, the 17th of May. So fingers crossed, things will be getting back to a little bit more normal. I know there's this problem with the Indian variant, or as I call it, the bolly flu. But yeah, wait and see what happens. See what happens. I have no control over this, so we just go with it. I think is the whole thing about the restrictions is, I know everything's open, everybody's happy, everything's open, but you know, it's only good if you got something to do. So nobody's. I mean, as much as it's nice to go to the pub, it's nice to go to the pub with some friends. It's nice to go out with friends and family. You know what I mean? It's like, I ain't gonna be a saddo. The only thing I'd do by myself is go to the cinema. I am looking forward to the cinemas open again. I did look at the times though. The times are all in the evening, so it's not a daytime thing. Because in the evening, more people are going to be there. Less people are likely to be. I've talked about this before. Less people are likely to be there in the daytime, and I prefer it then because it's nice and quiet. When there's too many people, it's like there's a lot of rustling then. I don't like that. Even though I probably do the rustling as well, but that's them, not me. I'm okay. It's them. I'm very. I don't know if is anybody else really conscious when you're in the cinema about if it is something that you're opening, even in the daytime when there's less people there. There's always somebody there. I mean, it's not often that I have the whole screen to myself. It has happened quite a few times, but it's not all the time. So and if I'm opening something like a pack of crisps or something like that, I'm very conscious, or I'll either wait till a noisy bit in the film, which never comes when you're trying to do something quietly, or it's like, and it'll rustle a bit out. Leave it for a second. Okay, nobody's in it. And then open it a little bit more. And then a little bit more. It's so stupid. Or just do the rip off the plaster thing. Open it. It's done. I don't have to do anything. I've done that before and dropped a load of crisps on the floor. Back in the days when I used to eat crisps. Sometimes I miss them. They're just not good for you. I want to get to that metabolic flexibility thing. This is me pinging away in my brain again, isn't it? I can just have what I want if I fancy it. I haven't got there yet. I'm having a few issues. I'm fine, apart from that strain. That strain still hasn't gone. I have been working out this week, but not hard. Just modified workouts, sort of half an hour, and then walking. But yeah, that strain's still there. But I've had a few, as some people have known from my messages, few downstairs issues. I've had a few of the older issues with the old Browns. I think you know what I'm talking about. And that's the name, right? That's been like since Wednesday night, Thursday, something like that. It's like it all melds into one, doesn't it? But yeah, so but the thing, I don't feel ill or anything like that. I feel fine. But it's weird. It's weird. I haven't eaten anything out of the ordinary either. It's like normally if you've eaten something funny. But I've been eating pretty well actually, pretty clean-ish. Well, clean depending on what type of nutrition that you're doing, but it's clean in that respect. But yeah, I don't know. There's always something, isn't there? I'm not going to say it's because I'm getting old, because this isn't an old thing. This is just a fucking weird thing. I swore. I wasn't going to swear today. That lasted all of waking up. I was up at 4 again this morning because I was watching UFC. So I saw quite a lot watching that, because some cracking fights. Cracking main event. It was just a when you think it's going one way and it just goes completely the other way. I love a good fight like that. It's like, because I wasn't supporting anybody. I was like interested in the fight. It was two good fighters, title fight, and it was like, yeah, that's good. I like that. That was it shocks you. There was an arm break. I didn't see that. That was earlier in the fights. I did catch up with it, but you don't see it. You don't hear it. I mean, you kind of see it, but you don't see the break. You see the no, it's hard to explain, but and then they say, oh, he's broken it, and the guy's just like there, like that, but he doesn't move his arm, but they say it's broken. But he got him in an arm bar. I think it was an arm bar. Finished him with an arm bar. But some people don't quit. The thing is, what happens is, in that, with that leg break kick that happened a few weeks ago, that was different, because he kicked at the leg, and the guy checked it. When you check a kick, it's kind of, you check it by lifting your leg up so that it's not planted. When it's planted, you're going to get the full force of the kick. But when you check it, it's like, it's limp then, isn't it? So you kind of parry it a little bit. Not parry it. You absorb it with the movement of your leg, because the leg will hit you, but it won't. But they check it with the shin as well. So they check it's bone on bone, or with the knee, and it's like basically deters them from doing it again, because after you've kicked the shin 3 or 4 times, it's like, I'm not going to kick it again because my legs are hurting now as well. So but that was just that's a freak accident that happens. And they say things like from, as you know, when you, well, as you can imagine, when you're kicking a lot and punching a lot and stuff like that, and taking punishment on the legs, they say that there's likely that you got microfractures already on your leg, and that one big impact just makes it a whole big thing. But yeah, but with the arms and shoulder locks and stuff like that, it's, if the guy doesn't tap, I can take it, the other guy will keep on extending and keep on putting that pressure on, putting that torque on it, and at some point something's got to give. It's either you tap and the guy lets go, or he will keep on going until you give up. Or, I mean, with a choke it's different, because it's choky, it will choke you until you pass out, or you tap. And the referee normally is very quick on getting the old, when they're about to go, he knows, you can see it in their eyes. They're very cool. But in the UFC, this is most mixed martial arts, they're very qualified in terms of looking for the signs. The guy's not putting any resistance up anymore, and he will stop the fight. But people have passed out. That's different when it's like an arm lock or a leg lock. It's like they will keep on putting that push until the guy taps, and if the guy doesn't tap, it's likely that it's going to break or dislocate. And I think that's what happened in that. I haven't seen any images of the alleged break, but they said it's broken or it's dislocated, or one or the other. But it's crazy. These guys are tough as shit. But yeah, but it's what they want to do. So you got to applaud them for their bravery, for stepping in like that. At the end of the day, somebody's trying to knock them out. Somebody's trying to basically give them brain damage. That's what they're trying to do. Boxing's the same. But yeah, that was what I was up for this morning. There's another event next week, but I'm not gonna. I'll come catch that in the morning. I'm not really. There's one on. I think there's one at the end of the month, possibly into June, that I will get up for. But yeah, until then, I think I'm alright. But not a lot's been happening really. Thingy was quite interesting that dropped this week. Was the I don't know if you know, but they are, is it right to say remaking? It's not remaking it, they're just kind of bringing it back. Another thing from my childhood that I loved it when I was a kid was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And that's coming back. Kevin Smith, who's a person I follow on the socials, and I listen to his podcast. You might know him from such things as Jay and Silent Bob. What's that film that he did? Yeah, I can never remember half of these films sometimes. Well, he's done a lot. I mean, a lot of people know him from Jay and Silent Bob, and because he's Silent Bob, and he also directed it as well, and wrote it. But yeah, he's done quite a few. He's fairly well. He's well known amongst the if you film people. When Alanis Morissette plays God, Ben Affleck's in it, Matt Damon's in it. I can't remember his name's gone out of my head, but he did that as well. And he did Chasing Amy, and he did Tusk, and he's done all sorts of weird and wonderful. Clerks, a lot of people know him from Clerks, but yeah, he's directing it, and he's creating the show for them, and that's coming out. It's not coming out till July, but they dropped some images, which is like the original He-Man. Obviously, the new stories, but original He-Man. But it's just like a new Netflix are doing it, so it should be pretty cool. If Kevin Smith's, I mean, he's a big comic book head anyway. He's a big thing. He loves he's that kind of material, so he will do a bang up job on that, I think. I'm looking forward to watching it. I love watching those animations. Some of the animations on Netflix really good. I mean, because you say animation, and people, you know, when that pops up, does it look like a dildo or something? Because it's one of those snapping things. What was it? It was a poppy one, a Royal British Legion one, and it's a ruler on the other side. How good a ruler it would be. Not that it's not straight. It's just like rubbery, isn't it? What was I saying? Kevin Smith, He-Man, Master of the Universe. But yeah, it'll come back to me. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to watching that. That'll be fun. Oh, animations I was talking about, because there's lots of really good ones. And when we say animation, you kind of it's cartoons, dear. They're not. I mean, a lot of them are. Not a lot of them. Quite a few of them are aimed at adults. They've got adult themes. They've got adult violence. I mean, one of the ones I really liked was One Punch Man on Netflix. I'm a big fan of One Punch Man, and to the point where Netflix, I don't know if they were going to do the second or third series. I found them online. I watched the Japanese versions with subtitles, and fantastic. They ended it funny on season 3. Was it season 3 or season 2? Whatever. I don't like saying series. So I'm hoping they do another one to finish that off, because he had a villain that he was One Punch Man's ace. It's such the most unassuming superhero you're ever going to find in your life. He's ace though. He's ace. But yeah, there's that. I'm just going to start watching a new one called Yasuke, which is a samurai one. I've got that one. I'll put it on my list. That was basically based on a true. I think it's a true story of it was an African man who went to Japan and became a samurai in Japan. There's a statue of him somewhere as well. That's Yasuke, and it's not going to be the exact story. It's an animation in there, but it's like an action-packed story of that. That looks pretty cool. It's like The Simpsons. Let's take The Simpsons for instance. People of all ages like The Simpsons. I'm not saying that you like The Simpsons. I'm just saying people of all. There's a whole age range of people. People who've grown up with it and watched it. I was watching it this morning. There was an episode on this morning that I'd seen before, and I still sat there and watched it. It was the Pulp Fiction one. I still sat there and watched it because it was funny. It's still funny. South Park is not aimed at kids, and it's so funny. They're on Netflix now as well, so I've watched them all again. So wrong, but I love it. It's just silly, to the point humour. That's the thing. There's that. There's F is for Family, which I really liked. That was really good, and that's adult. Like I say, none of them are aimed at kids, and I don't think kids would watch them. And Rick and Morty is probably more adult themed than aimed at kids, or at least like sort of teenagers, and that's funny. I like it. But then that's the same with that's what I think that's why Pixar was so successful, was because they realised that kids are watching. Obviously the animations are for the kids, but who was going to take them to the cinema? The kids weren't going to go to the cinema themselves, so they thought, let's chuck stuff in for the adults as well. So there's like, they'll do little jokes for the adults and make the stories sort of work for. Because I mean, there isn't. Is there a bad Pixar film? Because I've loved them all. I mean, some of them. The last one I watched was Soul, which was 8. It was really good. That was. And then there was like ones that have stuck with me were like for different reasons. Inside Out was fantastic, and I've watched that film a couple of times since, and I just thought the way they, what a way to deal with mental health, because that's what it was about, in my eyes, and it was just brilliantly dealt with, and how they did it was fantastic. I watched it, this is ace, and just to deal with the thing like that kids would understand it as well. And about your emotions and how they, how everybody's emotions are all over the place basically, and it was such a clever writing. But then like my favourite is probably The Incredibles, but I love Toy Story. I remember watching Toy Story. I think I've mentioned this before. Toy Story was at Odeon, Birmingham New Street when it came out. I watched it there. I remember. Yeah, so animations, don't discount them. They are really good. They deal with some good stuff. Like there's some. I mean, you can go deeper into some of the One Punch Man. You can go deeper into the meaning of why he is what he is, and well, you can watch it. The thing is, yeah, if you want to go deeper into some of them, so there is a deeper theme to them, or you can just watch them superficially, like me. And yeah, I do explore the theme sometimes. It depends how filmy I'm feeling. But yeah, I watched that Jupiter's Legacy. I give it a Rising for something. I think it's Jupiter's Legacy. That's on Netflix. It's like a hero-y kind of one. Well, is it a hero-y one? But it's a bit different, and the themes are a bit different. I liked it. I thought it was alright. It was alright. Interesting. Just finished it. Wormhole, that one. I just started watching it the other day. There's only 8 episodes, or 6. I don't know. I started watching that Son of Sam as well, which was interesting. It's David Berkovich, the serial killer from New York, wasn't it? Yeah, that was. I'm only halfway through the first episode. There's 4 episodes, and they're like an hour long. So yeah, it's. I do like a serial killery one, but I was a bit tired when I was actually watching some of it this morning, and I was like, because I've been up so early, you start feeling it about sort of 6:30, and you're like, I can't concentrate. I was struggling. I had a cup of tea, and I was struggling to drink my tea. I was like, okay, when you're tired, you keep. I'll close my eye. I'm gonna close this eye, and that will satiate my sleep. And I'm gonna close the other eye. Then I'm going to close it and make it look like so nobody thinks I'm falling asleep. So I put my hand there. Still got a cup of tea in my hand. And put my hand there like that. I don't want to fall asleep. But in fairness, I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to have a nap so I can have a good sleep tonight. Sleep. I love sleep. I've had some funny dreams this week that I've remembered. Must be something I ate. Might be my funny movements. But yeah, it's because I don't always remember my dreams. The last couple of weeks I've had a couple of dreams that I've remembered, which is fun, because what did the dreams, that's what we used to say, was TV for sleepers. That's what I need, more TV in my life. So it's quite nice. It's weird that you, because I am gonna put a book or it's just a notebook next to my bed, just so I can write them down, because it's weird when like they're vivid and you remember them when you wake up. So you're brushing your teeth and yeah, that was a good dream. That was weird and that was odd. And then like throughout the day, it starts flittering out your mind, and you can't remember. You can't remember. Somebody just my cousin's just messaged about the UFC just catching up. You can't remember there was somebody there, and this and like it's gone, but because it's happened to me a few times when I thought, oh, that was a really good dream, that was, and then by the end of the day I'm like, what was that dream about? I can't remember who was there or what happened. Some I do, but if I write them down, it's more fun. And then I do like finding the meanings of the dreams, of what sort of things that you're thinking about, because the dreams are generally meant to be that your brain's just solving problems, isn't it? The sleep on it thing I was talking about the other week was that sometimes your dream manifesting it, I think, and working out how to, something that's on your mind, basically working it out in your head. But then some of them are just fucking weird. Like I've had loads where I'm driving, and like for whatever reason I just drive. Specifically, I'll tell you where specific places. I'll be driving on in Warsaw, and the M6 Junction 10 roundabout. For some reason, I've driven off rather than going down the ramp onto the motorway to the M6, going towards M6 North. Specific, this is how specific it is. I will drive off the bridge and go flying off the bridge onto the motorway, and then the car's all knackered. And sometimes I'll wake up before I've landed, or sometimes I'll wake up. Sometimes it'll be like I've landed and the car is knackered, and I'm going, oh fuck, I'm in the right shit now, and I've messed up the car and then, but then sometimes they feel really real, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm proper stressed out in the dream, and then wake up in the morning in relief. There's a relief going, oh fucking hell, I'm glad that was a dream. I've had a few like that where you wake up going, whoa, that was really realistic, even though it was preposterous, probably the premise of your dream, but for whatever reason it just feels really realistic. See, and those are the ones I can't remember. What was the happened? The motorway ones I remember. The driving ones I don't know. I'll have to look that up, what the driving ones mean. I used to have dreams I could fly, and it was quite often I'd have those dreams, and they were quite fun. And it was weird because it'd be like from the point of flying off my bed, like it's like a float off my bed, and then I'd get caught in the window, and then get out, and then I'd be flying outside. It was weird. And I used to have those dreams. I get caught in the edge of the windowsill at the top before I get out the window. It's like, oh, I'm stuck here. I can't control myself. I can't go down. How do I go down? That's what she said. But yeah, dreams. TV for sleepers. Remember that. There was a weird thing. Not a weird thing that happened. It was not. As you probably know, as I mentioned it before, I watch a lot of American stand-up comedians, and I listen to them on podcasts and stuff like that, different ones, and they're quite funny. I do like them. It's just and there's one called Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm not going to say where he's from because I don't know where he's from, but he's American. He does a show called Kill Tony with another comedian called Brian Redban, and sometimes they have guests on. The premise of their show is that it's a live podcast they do. It's like a podcast. It's a live show they do, and then they'll put it out. So they'll do it at different theatres, and they used to do it at the Comedy Store in LA, but they'll do it different. They'll tour it as well. They've done it in this country as well. And the premise of it is that they give, they'll ask comedians, stand-ups, or anybody who wants to try, to put their name in a bucket, and then they will pick out the bucket, and whoever gets picked out gets to do a 1 minute set. And it's only 1 minute, but it's 1 minute at the end of the day with an audience, live audience, with them watching, and also with the X amount of thousands that people watch it on thinking. So, it gives you a little bit of exposure, lets you try some stuff out, lets you see what it's all about. Or then they'll give you some, it's kind of feedback at the end of it, and also you get roasted a little bit, and it's like a bit of a Mickey take between back and forth. Tell us about yourself, and then they'll throw it. So and Tony Hinchcliffe is very good at the roasting. So he will, and that's what it is. It's just, what do they say in America? Busting balls. That's what it is. But it can get wild as well sometimes. And then there's a lot of there's some comedians they'll have a lot of back and forth with, and it's just like that. In the theme of your mom is so fat, kind of back and forth. It's like I'll insult you and you insult me, and there's sometimes it's no holds barred. Sometimes you kind of pick and choose how you but it's funny, and it's always been the same, and he's like they've done like 400-500 shows of it. But what he has done is brought on a lot of comedians. He's given them exposure, and he's given them a platform to build from, and also they've given them shows as well. So that that I've not watched all of them. I've flitted in at some, because there's nothing to theme to follow. It's just like it's whichever one you're picking. It's some of the guests that they have on there. I like some of the comedians, so I'll watch ones with the comedians that I like. But yeah, then they'll get invited to do, you want to open for me, you want to do 10 minutes, I've got a show here, you want to do 10. So some of the more established comedians will give the opportunity, saying you're pretty good actually, we'll give you a chance, come, we're doing a show here, you want to have a go? And it's pretty cool. So anyway, I digress. So what happened, I think last week, there was a comedian that they featured on Kill Tony before, that Brian Redman, the other guy that does Kill Tony, he does a show called The Secret Show, where the audience doesn't know who's. So normally you'll get advertisements saying that so and so is playing here today, and we're gonna have this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. This was The Secret Show, so he doesn't say who's going to be on there. It could be anybody. It could be just sort of local stand-ups, or it could be someone like nationally or internationally known. It could be anybody. That's the beauty of the show. So this is a Chinese American. I think he's Chinese. I think he's born in China, but I think he's he's an American, naturalized American now, I think. So he did his set, and then he introduced Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony Hinchcliffe then came out because. So what happened was that that comedian, his name's Peng Dang, he then a week later tweeted saying, I introduced Tony Hinchcliffe after my set, and here's what he said, and then it's like happy Asian American Pacific Island month or day or whatever it was. I'm not sure, because they have different ones over there. I've never heard of that one before. That was a new one. But yeah, whatever. And then kind of in an ironic sense saying, but then the clip is a 30-second of Tony Hinchcliffe's opening, and he not berates him, he kind of roasts him really badly, and he says the word chink as well, and he calls people race traitors in the crowd for laughing at and it was bad, and it was like, if you'd watched Kill Tony, you'd probably kind of see where he was coming from in terms of he's roasting him, but that's what it is, but in the context of stand-up comedy. But then a lot of people piled on, as people do on Twitter, and I think there was a better way of handling it. I didn't think, especially a week later, if it was the next day to release it, that's different, or that day release it. But a week later, it's like there seems to be a sort of motive to it. I've seen what I can do. But then somebody else, I think Brian Redman, actually released Tony's full set, Tony Hinchcliffe's full set, and actually both of their sets. So he released that Peng Dang set and then his set afterwards, and Tony Hinchcliffe came out riffing off his set. So he was like, some of the jokes that other guy had made, he kind of riffed off those jokes, saying, "Oh, I can't believe you said this, and I can't believe you guys laughed at it." And but then when you just look at that 30-second clip, it made it seem like he was just taking the piss out of him. And I think he'll regret some of the stuff he said. I'm not condoning using any insulting words for people, but I think that just releasing that 30-second clip, there was a whole context of the stand-up missed, and I think he's paying for it at the moment, because I think a lot of people he's been dropped by his talent agency, and all sorts of things are going on. But I'm sure he'll be back at the point. But it's just but the whole, me going on about that is like, the whole thing goes about context. It's like people fly off the handle so quickly without having a look at the context of anything, and it'll happen in you'll see it in that kind of thing. You see it in your day-to-day life. When people send a text message, it's a text message, it's words. and people can read things a million different ways, and that's a problem. And that's the context. You can never get. That's what I was saying. In text, you can't really get the context across. And if you only if you only hear a snippet of a conversation or that comedy set or a bit of news, you can't form a full opinion without seeing the whole thing. That's where you can't form a full opinion without seeing the whole thing, and context is very important. And I've said it loads of times. But I mean, this isn't a worldly wise thing. I think everybody knows that. And we're all susceptible to it. We've all flown off the handle when we've seen something and then actually looked into it. Yeah, actually, I was probably being a bit of a dick. What a lot of a dick. I'm a bit of a dick most of the days. But I'm a calmer dick. That just made me laugh. But yeah. So, oh, that's interesting. I'm getting a call from India. I can't at the moment. I'm recording, so I will call you back. That was my cousin, by the way. Yes, I can't remember what was. Yeah, was there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Let's see. There probably is. The weather's been shit. I got caught in the rain. I've been out for a walk already, and I got caught in the rain earlier. But then it's weird. I always call it bipolar weather because you never know what it's going to do. Because the sun's out there, and the birds are tweeting. And was it Tuesday this week? Got caught with a proper downpour on Tuesday, and that was the day it was thunder and lightning as well. There was a lot of thunder. There wasn't lightning until I actually got home. This is the thing, isn't it? That day, I think I was talking to somebody about it. So I'd gone for a walk, and I was walking back. So this was the country lane walk. So I was walking back, and I was too far away from home anyway. So, and it starts spitting. And starts raining a bit more. And I was like, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I could stand under the tree, but I don't know how long this is going to go on because it was dark clouds all around me. I'm wet anyway, so I might as well just carry on. So, isn't that a point where you should say that you could say you should have said that? That's what she said at that point there. Just so you're pointing that out for you. So I'm walking, and it's pissing it down, and then hail. Pinging off my ears. It hurts. The head was all right because it was protected, but it was just catching my ears, and I was like, oh, and I was like, there was nothing. There was no tree cover or anything, so just carry on, and then literally I was probably about, let's say, 100 meters away from the house, and it stopped. This is why I say, when people say, do you think somebody's looking over you? I think somebody's looking over me and laughing, going, watch this. And they were like, oh, we can stop it now. He's home. You can stop now. He's home. Now we can laugh at him again. Look at him walking in the rain, pissing. That's what happens all the time. That's why I think somebody's I've probably got a piss taker that's watching over me, because they are constantly taking their piss. Yeah, I was in a funny mood this week anyway. With that, there was one day that just everything just seemed to be going wrong, and it was like I think it was Wednesday and Thursday. I was just in such a funny, a little bit of a foul mood. I didn't take it out on anybody, but just like myself. Cracked my leg on a bloody table and it was bleeding, and it was hurting for a couple of days, and then I just felt just frustrated. I was frustrated with everything, and then computers running slow, and it's like, oh, well, something go right. Probably started with that Tuesday thing because that was on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday I was just in a foul mood. But like I say, I was fine with everybody. It was just within myself. I just let it bubble up and build. But yeah. But I think I've let that out now. just me injuries. I can sort my injuries out. It should be all right. What are the worldly, wisely, wieldily wisdoms have I got? I haven't got any. I probably have got some squirreled away in the back of my brain somewhere. Ant got his dog. 35 minutes. The only reason I said that is I'll try and, because he sent me some pictures. He sent some pictures on the group, so I'll try and splice a picture into the video so you can see the little pup. His name's Merlin. So it's 35:10. I started talking about it. So he got his pup. He must have got it yesterday or today, because he sent those pictures earlier. And he said this, when they get him, they'll bring him round so to socialise him, and say hello to the extended family that he has. So that'll be nice. Nice little cute pup. It's what did he say it was? A German wire-haired pointer, and his name's Merlin. So that's Ant's big news. We should be. I've got to talk to him about it, actually. I haven't spoken to him for a couple of weeks because he's an arsehole. That he's not. Just haven't spoken to him. He's like, I haven't spoken to a lot of people. About, because the restrictions lifting, I'm actually able to go to his house, so we might be able to record stuff together. We're thinking of changing what we're going to do, and actually, if you've got any thoughts, it'd be nice to hear your thoughts about something different that we can do in terms of, rather than just us talking and our conversations. If there's a theme, like I was thinking, I don't know whether I'll do my shit film reviews with him or just do it by myself, because it's better to do a review with him something that we've both seen. But that's something I can discuss with him. But if you have any thoughts about stuff that we can talk about, because we both love our tech, so that's one thing that we can talk about. We have no expertise in any of it, so it's whatever. Yeah, so appreciate the beard. He-Man, context, other nonsense that I can't remember what I talked about. But anyway, yes, I hope you're well. I hope things are getting back to normal for you as well. And I hope to see you soon. And with that, I will bid you adieu. How would you say goodbye? Rather, how do you say goodbye in different languages? I'll have that for next week. Anyway, bye bye.